back to the show, Juicyfroot Reviews. I'm your host, Juicy, and on the show we review scripts, movies, filmmaking, and music provided for film and TV, and much more. So come along. In this episode, we're going to review the movie Parasite, and I'm going to talk about some information and give my final thoughts. But before we do that, make sure you smash that like or thumbs up button. Go ahead and follow, comment, do all that neat stuff. Even share the video. We want to hear from you about what you thought about this episode and what's going to make a great episode in the future. What movies or scenes, TV shows, or music like soundtracks do you want us to explore next? You know you want to do it, so do it. Alright, so I'm going to give a little bit of information for the movie Parasite. The synopsis from IMDb and the data is shown below. Greed and class discrimination threaten the newly formed symbiotic relationship between the wealthy Park family and the destitute Kim family. It was released in 2019 in America. It is a South Korean production. It was directed by Bong Joon-ho, written by Bong Joon-ho, who actually came up with the story, and the writer Jin Woon-han, screenwriter, helped him. The stars were Kang Ho-sung, Sung Kyun Lee, Young Lung Cho, Woo-sik Choi, and more. So at first, I wasn't know what to think about the movie because it is subtitled on the bottom throughout because it is in the Korean language. So right then and there, not too many Americans dig on that, I think. I don't mind it. Actually, it helps me because I can listen to the language to see how people talk, right? So the movie was, overall, I would rate it at probably, I don't know, maybe an 8. It has some pretty good twists in there. It did have some good scares. And it did have some theme behind it about between the haves and the have-nots. Let me get into the movie. So I thought the character development was pretty good. The storyline was good and very thought-provoking because you had a family that took every opportunity that they created to bring in another family member to work for the Park family. And the Park family was rich in comparison to the Kim family. At first it was just a tutor for the girl that was in the family, and so he then brought on, I think, his dad to be the driver, and for the sister to come in and do something else, I forget what she did, and then the mother to take over the maid. So one by one, the family members that were there already working for the Park family would go ahead and work against trying to get the next employee fired so the next family member could take their place. So the character development, the story was, I would think, top rate writing. It would probably be in the 8 neighborhood. Maybe even the 9 with the twist that you add on. So the twist is that the maid that was there had, I believe, her husband who was mentally challenged. He was living in the basement or some hidden basement that even the Park family didn't know, which is kind of weird because I thought maybe they built the house for themselves, but anyway, and this is like a bunker type of thing. Obviously, there's no door. They're using, not obviously, but she's using like this bookcase that's pretty heavy that she slides back and forth to hide the opening. And then there's stairs that go down, and then in there's room for the husband to kind of, live. But it's all stone, it's very cold, and sterile. But anyways, he sleeps down there, he entertains himself, and he does whatever he needs to do. And she comes down and provides him food so he can survive, right? Food and water and all that. So all of his needs are met. It's just that he's living in secret beneath the Park family, who his wife works for as maid. How she got about doing all that, I don't know. I give props to her, I guess. I'm sure she lived there. The butler, not so sure about that, but for sure the maid, because, she was constantly helping them. So cooking and all that, cleaning. So anyways, the Park family then starts talking about the dad. He's not bathing, so he's smelly. And then there's a weekend that the Park family's going to be gone, so the whole family's just kind of hanging out there and relaxing, chill. And then, or that's the point in the movie where they actually find, the husband living below. So, because the maid comes, right? And she's like, or the old maid. So, the wife of the husband comes over and she's got food, right? Because she's like, this guy's gotta be starving, my husband. So, she actually reveals the staircase. And so the family come down and they're like in hiding, right? Because they don't want to let the maid know that they're there, because nobody's supposed to be there. They try to subdue her and take care of the husband, so to kind of keep them quiet, right? So, and I think eventually they hurt the husband and they kill the wife. I forget where the husband's at. I think he's still down below, but he's kind of tied up. And so the other family figure out what to do with the lady or with the maid, and then the family comes home, right, and wants, they're home from vacation, so they want it, like stuff ready to eat when they get home, and the house, clean and all that. So they're like scrambling, and they come home, and everything's cool. And then later on, that the next day, big party the Park family's throwing, so they have all the other friends and other people, right? And they're all in the backyard, and the Kim family's in the back, doing their service bit. And then the husband, he's all beat up and shit, and he comes running out. He apparently got loose, and he stabs the mom of the Kim family, and she's like dying on the ground, right? And the husband is like, oh, the driver. And so, and the son and the daughter are like freaking out and trying to wrestle him. And I think the daughter also gets stabbed right in the heart. She actually dies right there. And I believe the mom died. I'm not so sure about that. But yeah, I think she did. And a side note that the son and the daughter of the Park family, who he was tutoring, had, some feelings between them and kissing and whatnot. I don't know if he was serious at first, but I think he did eventually fall in love with her. I don't know, about a 9, maybe, maybe 8.5, okay? 8.5 for the movie. So, I believe actually, now that I think about it, I believe that's what IMDb gave it a rating of, let me see, 8.6. Okay, so they rated it pretty close. And it's rated R, and it's 2 hours and 12 minutes long. Yeah, it was pretty good. But I didn't know what the reaction of the audience was. Like I said before, that subtitles, kind of throw off American audiences. People just want to go and watch, right? They don't want to, take reading class. And some people just, they're not fast readers, so they're constantly maybe losing track of some of the words, and they're not watching the movie or the action on the screen very well, so they're kind of losing the action as well, so they're doubly lost, like, okay, what the heck's going on? And the way that movie is, there's a lot going on in both aspects. So you don't want to, get stuck reading when you're supposed to be watching, the screen a little closer, or vice versa. So anyways, that's the movie Parasite. I hope you guys have enjoyed this review. Hey, we hope you like this episode of Juicyfroot Reviews. I'm your host, Juicy, and we want to hear from you. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you know the next time I drop a video. We want to hear from you. We hope that you join the Juicyfroot family. And go ahead and check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The links are in the description box below. Thank you for your support as it gives Juicyfroot Productions the resources and access it needs to keep bringing you content like this. From us here at Juicyfroot Productions and Robb Entertainment Corporation, this does it for another fine episode of Juicyfroot Reviews. I'm your host, Juicy, and I want to thank you for watching the video, and thanks for the memories. Follow me to the place I know you want to go.